Alright, hi guys, my name is Trinity and welcome to my channel. I am going to be doing a book haul for you guys today, but I wanted to give a little bit of explanation as to why I haven't been filming videos and posting as often as I usually do. So as I sat down to record this video the first time, a text message came through from my son's school about behavior and so I've been dealing with that for a while, and if you guys would like to ever talk to me about what adopting a trauma baby is like, I will definitely be willing to talk to you guys about that on Discord, so you could just hit me up there. But it's been a trying month, a very trying week in particular. And so I haven't been able to sit down and record any videos because I've been dealing with a lot on my own. And, you know, my husband's great. He's there. He helps me out. So, like, don't take that as I've been doing it all by myself. But, you know, it's been crazy, chaotic, and I'm ready to get back to some normalcy. But today I have a book haul, like I said. And the first book that I have to talk about is actually my Owlcrate book, and I just did my unboxing, so I don't know what video is going up first. If you don't want a spoiler for the Owlcrate book, skip this one, but Hotel Magnifique. Now, I'm pretty excited to read this. From what I understand, the writing is similar to The Night Circus, however, and I did not like The Night Circus. I do hope that this has a lot more plot. It sounds like it's going to have a lot more plot, and I'm excited about that fact. But we have two sisters who kind of have a rough life, and when the Hotel Magnifique shows up in their town, they decide to take the opportunity to go work at the Hotel Magnifique and get on the staff there. And then they learn that there are not some great things about the Hotel Magnifique, and it holds some really dark secrets, and that's what this book is about. So I'm hoping that I really like this. This might actually end up on a TBR of mine in the near future, if not next month, since I am doing something special for next month, but you guys will have to wait to see what that is. But I think I'm gonna like this. As long as it has more plot than The Night Circus, I think I will really like this. Something incredibly sweet that I wasn't really prepared for, but when it happened, I was like, oh my gosh, that is just amazing. So as you guys know, I have talked about In the Orbit of Sirens quite a few times on my channel because I've been really excited to read it this year, and I had heard so many things about it that made me just like need to read it. But I only had the audiobook and a physical copy of the second book, and so I said that, and TA Bruno was kind enough to send me a physical copy of In the Orbit of Sirens. I have read this, guys. I have read this. He even signed it for me. So sweet, so sweet. I've read it. I absolutely loved it. And I will say, if you guys are fans of Mass Effect, read this. Read this. I know I liken things to my favorite things a lot, but when a book comes around that reminds me of sitting down to play Mass Effect and just getting introduced to a new world, like I said early on, this had massive Andromeda vibes, and I was loving it. And that was, what, 30 pages into the book? But yes, if you are a Mass Effect fan and you like sitting down and finding those books that give you the same feeling as playing a video game, playing that Mass Effect video game, definitely check out In the Orbit of Sirens. And I'll give you guys my full thoughts on this book in my April wrap-up. But yes, I have already read this one. Next, we have the second book in the Fireborn series by Rosaria Munda. I really enjoyed the first book, so I bought the second one. I did have to wait for the release of the paperback, but I really enjoyed the dragon riding aspect of the first one. I really enjoyed how the politics were set up in the first one, and I liked the relationship between the two main characters and where they were supposed to have been rivals. And it's cropping up now that maybe they still should be rivals, but they became friends at a very young age. And so I really enjoyed all of those aspects, so I'm excited to continue with the series. And then the long-awaited, postponed adult Fairyloot. The Atlas 6 was the book that we got by Olivia Blake, I think is how you say that. But look at this. It is absolutely stunning. So I've actually just got the audio for this, and when I have these special editions like this, I don't like physically reading these, but I will probably do my best to follow along and do an immersive read of this book with the audio and the physical. But yes, this is the first ever adult Fairyloot book, and I'm very excited to get more because this is ridiculously gorgeous. Ridiculously gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And it is a book that I had been wanting to read anyway, so very cool. Very, very cool. Oh, I have a problem. I have a problem. You all know this. There was a meme. I will post the meme here that floated around my Discord because I have a problem. I have a problem. And then HollyHeartsBooks was doing a giveaway on her Twitter for The Bladed Faith by David Dalglish, and I won. I won it. So yeah, this makes 4 series by David Dalglish that I own and haven't read yet. So let me just explain. I have a big problem with, so Shadow Dance I own, Seraphim I own, The Keepers I own, and this is The Vagrant Gods. So I really love the synopsis of David Dalglish's books, and I will buy them, no questions asked. This is an ARC copy. This is her ARC copy, and I just think they all sound amazing, and I end up buying them. Like, I can't stop myself. I have a problem. I have a problem. Every shadow hides a truth. Every hero hides a lie. A usurped prince will take up the mantle of a deadly assassin to reclaim his kingdom, his people, and his slain gods in the explosive start to US Today bestseller David Dalglish's new epic fantasy trilogy. Yeah, assassins. You don't have to say much more than that. And then David Dalglish wrote it, so I'm gonna buy it anyway. I have a problem. I have a problem. I will admit this. I have a problem. However, the David Dalglish thing might be solved next month because of what I am participating in next month. All right, and I finally got my copy of Crowfall. This I will probably also be reading this month. Well, I'm going to be reading it this month. This is my buddy read with Andrew, even though we... Oh, I left that book somewhere. Okay. I will post a picture of it, but I'll show you guys. Anyway, this is the final book of the Ravensmark trilogy. We have been enjoying this trilogy, and I'm looking forward to finishing it because, like I said before, even though I've read this series before, this book has kind of left my brain. And not because it wasn't good, but because I had a really bad reading slump, and when that hit, I kind of forgot everything I read. Everything I read, and it has nothing to do with this book at all. But I'm very excited to finish up the Ravensmark trilogy with Andrew. And I broke down and I bought the Dragonbone chair. So I absolutely love the Five Warrior Angels trilogy or series. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy by Brian Lee Durfee. And every time he talks about like his inspiration for writing, he talks about this series, the Memory, Sorrow, Thorn. Yes. And I was like, okay, fine. I have to read it. Fine. You've sold me on it. You sold me on it. And then this also says George R.R. Martin was inspired to write Game of Thrones based off of this. And it's also groundbreaking, changed how people thought of the genre and paved the way for so much modern fantasy, including mine, Patrick Rothfuss. So this inspired a lot of my favorite books. So I really wanted to get into it. I really wanted to see what it was about. And it's inspired so much of my favorite stuff that I feel like it's necessary. It's a necessary read for me. Okay, and for my book of the month book, I picked Kayaking. That's what we're going with, right? Kayaking. I am very excited about this because you guys know I am a sucker for some mythology. I don't even care where it originates from. I like mythology. I really like reading about it. I love how most of them have this fairy tale aspect to them in the way that they are told. And so this is the newest one. I just had to get my hands on it. I probably will be reading this one very soon as well. So begins Kayake's story, the only daughter of the kingdom of Kaya. She is raised on tales of the gods, how they churned the vast ocean to obtain the nectar of immortality, how they vanquish evil and ensure the land of Berat prospers, and how they offer powerful boons to the worthy. So yes, I'm very excited for this one. And I did mention in my Owlcrate video that I just recently purchased Where Dreams Descend. This is a Phantom of the Opera retelling, and so I'm looking forward to diving into this one. This is YA, but it's a little bit of a chonker for a YA. But I've heard very good things about this, and so I wanted to get my hands on it and give it a read. A book that is almost always recommended to me in my recent reads for Goodreads, for Storygraph, all that stuff, is The Frozen Crown by Greta Kelly. And that cover is so dang cool. And I thought that this was adult, but it keeps coming up for YA, and I think it actually qualifies as new adult. A princess with a powerful and dangerous secret must find a way to save her country from ruthless invaders in this exciting debut fantasy first novel in a thrilling duology packed with heroism, treachery, magic, and war. It always sounds good. I love the cover. It looks really good. And if it's YA fantasy, I'm not going to be heartbroken about that. I like YA, but it always comes up for me. So I felt like I needed to pick it up, and I found it at the buy sell trade, so I went ahead and got it. And then this book is a favorite of the Discord. And so whenever I found it was like $7, I had to pick it up, and that's The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey. And I don't know much about this. I honestly don't, but Essa Hansen loves it. Sun Yi loves it, and they talk about it all the time on the Discord, and so I just had to pick it up. I had to pick it up. And I was very, very excited for that. Now, for books that I purchased at the buy sell trade today. But Trouble the Saints by Alea Dawn Johnson. I've heard very good things about this from quite a few people. It says NPR Best Books of 2020, Kirkus Reviews Best Books of 2020, USA Today's 5 Books Not to Miss. The dangerous magic of the night circus meets the powerful historical exploration of the Underground Railroad in Alea Dawn Johnson's timely and unsettling novel set against the darkly glamorous backdrop of New York City, where an assassin falls in love and tries to change her fate at the dawn of World War II. It said assassin. You guys know that I'm a sucker for anything that has assassin in it, but I've heard very good things about this and I wanted to give it a go myself. And I've heard very good things about Riley Sager as well, so I picked up Lock Every Door. I can't remember if this is the one that everybody hates, though. I really can't remember if this is the one that everybody hates. I found it at the buy sell trade, though, so I only paid $1 for it, but I like mysteries, and I wanted to read more, or I wanted to read something by Riley Sager, and I haven't done that yet. But I've heard very good things about Riley Sager. I just hope that this is not the book that everyone hated, because I don't want that. That might be a good thing to have that be my introduction to Riley Sager, to know this is the worst, and if I liked it, then the other ones are only going to be better. I don't know, but I don't like knowing much about my mystery novels before I dive into them, so I didn't look. Okay, and then another that I've heard good things about is The Sea Queen by Linnea Sucker? Anyway, I'm horrible with names, and I'm so sorry I butchered your name. But I've heard very good things about this. This is a very Viking novel. It is historical fiction. Svanhild has escaped the threat of an advantageous but unhappy marriage to find the freedom and adventure she craves at the side of a Viking explorer, Solvi, though not without a cost. He is her brother's arch-rival, and his ambition draws him back to Norway's battles and keeps Svanhild separated from her family. Her ferocious maternal instinct conflicts with Solvi's renewed determination to reclaim his ancestral territory with his wife and child in tow, a standoff that threatens to sever their bond for good. But yes, I've heard very good things about this. I love historical fictions. I love books about Vikings, so I'm very much looking forward to what this book has to offer. Okay, and then I found a trilogy that I had been looking into. Fortune's Pawn by Rachel Bach is the first one, and Paradox is the name of the trilogy. And I bought all three. I found them at the buy sell trade. And if I remember right, yes, this is a series. So one of my friends on Discord, and I think it might have been Rory, told me about this, and that it is a romantic sci-fi. And I have not read any romance sci-fi yet, but I'm very intrigued to see if this series delivers, because I do like romance and I love sci-fi. And I know that from what I was told, the romance doesn't take over the plot of the trilogy, but it is very much at the forefront of the trilogy. So very much looking forward to these. And then I finally got illuminae from the buy sell trade. Very much looking forward to this. This is on my Pop Sugar challenge for this year, so I will definitely be getting into this at some point in the near future. I found Obsidio a while ago, but I haven't found the first two, which this might mean that I have to buy Gemini from Amazon or something like that. But I do finally have illuminae, so I can get to reading that. And then one that I just found organically and sounded very Mass Effect to me, I had to pick it up because of that, was Cry Pilot. And it said, a devastated Earth, rogue bioweapons, and a recruit with secrets. In this explosive new military science fiction novel, a tight-knit infantry squad is thrown into battle against a mysterious enemy that appears without warning and strikes without mercy. So, it sounded good. I read the first few pages of it and was like, okay, I can get with this. And so I'm really excited to get into this. There's a couple that I've picked up organically from the buy sell trade recently that I really want to read them and see how I like them, because nobody's talked about them. So I feel like it would be something good to have for my channel. All right, that is it for me today. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.